that
It would be the biggest thing ever.
And
It would be,
like...
and it was with Max. And look at this already. Like 100 points for Kimi, 80 points to Russell. You start to think like Russell's on tilt.
Absolutely, I think it'll get into his head so much.
I think it's in his head.
Yeah,
I think it's in there already.
And
Images of Gasly being sideways in the air. It's one of the all-time shots.
It's a great shot.
That could be photo of the year.
Yeah.
For our first Toyota.
How
Anton
good
Di
is that?
Pasquale for our first Chevy.
How good is that?
Not great. And then James Golding in 8th. I mean, that team has a lot. Hey everybody, welcome to Laphaus. I'm Lockie.
I'm Chloe.
And today we're going to be kicking off our first episode in a series that we're hoping to continue after today. So this is a podcast series that I've been thinking about for a while, if anything. And what we want to try and create is a bit of a hybrid motorsport podcast between Supercars Championship and F1, and really bring just our perspective to the sport that we know.
We've got a lot to say.
Because we've got a lot to say.
I mean, we witness to each
and
other
we
all the
chat
time.
about it all the time.
Yeah, so we may as well put it online.
So we may as well get it online.
Yeah.
And see what other people think about what we say about when we talk about motor racing and all the time.
I think what really pushed you to do it was the motor racing GP 360 show.
Yeah.
That's what really made you be like, nah, we have to do this.
I think it's just, I like the show premise is good.
Yeah.
Like I like the show premise.
This is the whole premise.
Pretty much, exactly. Get around a microphone and just talk about what happened last weekend. But what I think they just miss off is a bit of honesty on the show, maybe, or just you can kind of see where divisions lie and the lines are drawn on the show. So I just want to see
they're
if
all
we can.
affiliated with Supercars, so
Yeah, most of them.
it's not that they're not being honest; it's that they have jobs to think about and like people that they then need to go to work with the next day.
Exactly.
And we don't actually care, or I don't actually care.
Exactly. And yeah, we're not race car drivers.
No.
At all. We're just fans that like racing.
If anything, I'm more into the background, the drama, the story behind it, and you bring a lot more of like the turns and the technical and everything like that. Not that I don't know anything about kart racing, because I do.
Exactly.
But you don't go on any social media, so Lockie has literally no idea what's happening between drivers and who's beefing with who. Yeah. And I love telling him about it because he's always like, they said what?
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it all, so this is a good place for me to keep him up to date.
Exactly. And we just love watching it together.
Yeah, we watch it.
Always have it on.
Yeah.
It's that or the footy, essentially. Like it's one or the other. But yeah, like I can bring a little bit of the technical. Like you said, my biggest motor racing achievements is topping a hire kart session and getting a win in Gran Turismo Sport. Like that's my motorsport profession.
Mine is only getting lapped once by Lockie when we went to that kart
that's
track.
Right.
So
and we go pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, strap in. Hope you enjoy what we have to offer in terms of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like Chloe said, she wants to bring a bit more of that drama aspect because I think that's what we want to bring out more in Supercars. Like we've really bonded together when we figured out our F1 connection.
Yeah.
And like you got into F1 because of that drama aspect.
As a lot of girls do, and I know all the comments, I can see
Drive
it
to
already.
Survive.
Which is true, but like I think F1 does a lot better of a job of capturing why it's interesting. I guess they've got a lot of history behind it and everything like that, but I wasn't a fan of Supercars until Lockie introduced me to it, and it's so hard to get into as a new fan because the liveries are different. You don't know who's driving where. There is no sense of like team really when they're two different cars running two different liveries with two different, like it's so different, but there is so much of a story there. You just have to know such intimate details to actually be able to get into who's beefing with who. And I think that the Supercars drama is more interesting than F1 drama because they're more candid about it really than F1 is, and it's less protected, I guess.
Exactly. And the racing is just as good, if not better.
Absolutely.
I think
so
Supercars racing is the best racing on
We went
earth.
to the Melbourne Grand Prix
and
the best. The Supercars were better than F1, hands down.
Way better. Way better. Like it's
for sure
the best racing category on earth. But we sort of love F1 as well. So we want to chat about that week to week too.
Yep. I think before we get into Miami and the whole New Zealand situation in Supercars, we should probably give our lay of the land of where our loyalties lie.
Oh, that's
because
true.
I personally,
True.
always want to know. It's
That's
always
true.
a bit of like, I guess with NRL, we watch a lot of NRL
Yep.
and 360, you can always get their bias because you're like, well, they used to play for Broncos and they're Roosters, and you know where they're coming from. And I don't like when podcasters don't say, well, this is what I'm a fan of, because it's really hard to depict.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love Red Bull.
Anything Red Bull. Yeah,
Anything Red Bull.
Yeah.
Particularly
Yeah.
B-Fan, Brock Feeney.
Yeah.
It's my husband.
Wow.
But B-Fan, God, I want him to win
Wow.
a championship so bad. And Max
Yeah.
Verstappen. So
Yeah.
the second drivers...
It was a big year last year. It was a big year.
It's a touchy
big
topic.
year in our household last year.
See, that is the type of stuff where if something like that happened in F1, that
It
would
would be
global
the biggest
news.
thing ever.
And
It
that
would
is
be,
like-
and it was with Max and
It was,
Hamilton.
yeah.
Not to the same degree, and
It-
I believe as
Pro-
well, because I'm also a Max fan, that neither driver had anything at fault on that race. And
No.
we're both stewing in our own biases right now.
Yeah.
But
That's exactly right.
but the Michael Massey made the call,
Yeah.
and that's just what happened.
Yeah.
Both drivers just played what they were given,
Yeah.
and as a result, Massey got fired. It was whatever. Whether it was rigged, don't know. Who cares? Max got the win. We love it. But that is what made that such explosive story
Yeah, that was like the most
happen. It was
iconic...
amazing.
In this modern era of Formula One, that is the most
Oh,
iconic.
it's the best.
Like, we can quote it line for line.
Slightly followed up by when
Brazil.
Lando was chasing
Oh.
Max in that season,
Yeah,
where
sure.
he won Brazil, and that
Just
like
even
the
that was
rivalry is
nice.
so good, and a few are starting to emerge in Supercars as well, and we just want to
Yeah.
bring more spotlight to it, but
Yeah.
also highlight the racing, talk about the racing, talk about
All of
all
it.
the good things that happen through the weekend and how it gets really exciting because.
Yeah.
Like we said, we think it's the best racing on earth.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I've declared my loyalty.
Yeah, I'm a full-blown General Motors, Holden, Chevrolet. Like, that's what I grew up on. That is my lifeblood. Like, that is, yeah, anything blue, including the New South Wales Blues and Ford.
Oh.
I thought you were a
I thought you were about to
Queenslander.
pledge your loyalty, and I was like, sorry.
I'm, like, against.
Absolutely not,
But
yeah.
I can respect all the drivers and what they perform in to a degree. Like,
Yeah.
that's not to a degree. Like, I can see when someone drives good and can appreciate all of that too. So
And I think this even highlights the, like, because you've been a Supercars fan since you were born, because that's how your family brought you
Yeah.
up, you have so much of the, like, like, the rivalry. Whereas
Oh,
new fans
yeah.
coming into the sport, I don't care if they're a Ford. I don't care what they're driving. It's
Yeah.
not. It's all about the driver and the personality and, like, what they bring to the sport. I don't care which one goes faster. I have no,
Yeah.
like, loyalty to it.
yeah, because what does Brock Feeney drive?
A Ford. Now,
But what a Ford what?
a Ford Mustang.
Okay, good job.
Yeah. And a Chevrolet Camaro,
There you
obviously.
go. A Toyota.
Supra.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. But it's like, that just highlights the new fan versus the old fan, is I don't have any, and I think Supercars, they have all of that history behind them of the rivalry, and that's what a lot of older
Yeah.
fans are really into, as they should be.
Yeah.
But for new fans coming into the sport, because I know everybody gets stuck in their ways, and all of the older generation fans will be like, no, this is how it always is. But for a sport to continue, if you love the sport so much, you should want to bring new people into
Yeah.
it. That's how you keep it going. That's how it gets more money, more funding, more exposure. And all I'm bringing is the perspective of the new fan and how people get into it, and it's through talking about stuff like this, because Holden, Chevy, whatever you drive,
That's
I
it.
don't care. It's about who you are.
And those old school rivalries that, like you mentioned, that I
Yeah.
know, like the Murph v Ingle, Murph v Ambrose, Scaife versus Ambrose, Scaife like all
You
of
were all
those
in it,
ones.
yeah.
Lowndes versus Whincup versus Winterbottom, McLaughlin versus Van Gisbergen, and the newest one, Ryan Wood Feeney as well. Like all of those ones. Like I know of from just watching it back in the day. So yeah, we're here to debate things, talk about things, and just bring in new fans to the sport and just shed our perspective on it, and also come on a journey with us really in
Yeah.
terms of
If you don't agree, tell
figuring
us.
out figuring out the sport a bit more and figuring out like how all this comes together.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
excited to go for it.
What do you want to dive into
Fantastic.
first? Supercars or F1?
I think we'll kickstart it with F1 because we just came off
Yeah,
Miami
we
and the
literally
race
just watched
from
it
there.
today.
So I reckon if we get the results up,
Yeah.
There is a lot to talk about. I think, first of all, having a month off was very interesting coming into Miami.
Yeah, because
as
of
well.
the new regulations.
We finished up with Suzuka, where it's gone George, Kimi, from there. And then with this month off, there was a lot of talk in terms of McLaren have got something big coming, Ferrari have got something big coming, Red Bull have something big coming. All the new packages coming into and leading into this,
except for
this race.
Mercedes, because they had no.
Except for Mercedes, who are bringing it to
didn't
Canada,
need it.
which is in a fortnight, who really didn't need it to get the job done, as well. So
it made it interesting, didn't it?
it did. I think, like, first of all, did you think, as a fan, the changes that they've made? I don't forget what they are off the top of my head, but they have made changes since the last race. Do you think qualifying was a bit more interesting to watch?
Yeah, I know that was the point of it. I actually think it's made for better racing, because what they were trying to do was get rid of super clipping, right? Like the.
I think they want super clipping. They've just jacked it up.
Yeah,
more, so they can get more battery.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, I think it's just they needed something, because even as long-time fans, we were. I don't know if I can count myself as a long-time fan.
Me either. I think we started watching
Formula One.
My first full season was 2021.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think as longish term fans, we were even getting like, oh, is this what the whole season's going to be? Like, we've all sat through Max Verstappen dominance. We've all sat through seasons where there's one team that's dominant. But this felt different in a way of, like, the gap to the rest of the grid was so large. I almost wasn't excited for the next race to come. Yeah. And then when they made the announcement of actually we're going to try and make, qualifying more interesting and we're going to change all this up, it made me more hopeful. And I think it has done it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's massively changed qualifying, because obviously it's hard to renege on regulations that you've already committed to and all these cars have designed, around. So I think it was never going to be an overhaul of what we've seen, but it's changed it up enough to where, like, I think that was the most interesting race that we've had this year. Qualifying, I don't know. Do you think it made any difference?
You can still see things in broadcast where they're not wanting to show, like, the top speed at the end of a straight.
Yes.
Like, you can still physically hear the car, like,
Charging.
they're peaking and it's like, like, for that last 100 meters, and then they're hitting the brakes and coming through those corners.
I didn't
particularly
notice
last
it as much,
corner.
but maybe
I
that's
don't think,
broadcast.
I don't think I noticed it as much, but, like, there is a bit of broadcast magic there.
Yeah.
Miami, there are quite long straights, but there's also corners on those straights that can kind of help. So the one that you really noticed it on was that back straight near like that river.
Yeah.
The ones where you're coming through the back, through, I think it's like through turn 8, and then you're coming back through those corners through there. That looked pretty good. The first section that you come off the start finish straight as well, that was pretty good, because they're pretty much just flat through there anyway. I thought it was more interesting. I thought it was closer.
I noticed it less. Yeah.
I think elephant in the room, the stat that everyone is talking about is Aston, though. Aston Martin getting
how far back
they are. I think it was 12 seconds off.
Yeah,
and every single F2 car would have out-qualified Aston Martin.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, and I think they have a lot of eyes because we know they have Adrian Newey. They clearly recognise it because they've stepped him down from being team principal.
Who's the new guy?
I don't know.
Let me
Some
Google
guy.
that. Let me Google that. Anyway, Aston's in the toilet.
Ignore everything.
Aston's in the toilet.
What's the 120% rule? Or what's the percentage? Do you know? What
I think it's if a car can't compete the same.
But it's a specific number. I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Me either, but there's a certain percentage of, if a car is slower than the fastest car by X amount of percentage, they get disqualified.
But is that in every race, or is that just for the first race of the year they have to qualify?
I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. But I would be worried if it's an ongoing test.
Yeah.
That they're not going to keep within that, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
That they are so far behind. It's
not a this
so
year
embarrassing.
question.
It's so embarrassing. I think it's so embarrassing. Like, they've spent. There's like, I think Adrian Newey earns, I think it's like $1,700 a second with his pay packet or something like astronaut. That's how much money he's on per year.
To get that.
And to get results of 21st, like back to back, like I think they both finished the Grand Prix as well.
They did this one.
They're
and that's
finishing laps, so maybe no vibrations from there. Or Fernando's just going to get early arthritis from his from the driving.
Yeah, probably.
It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, Aston still bad.
Yeah.
Still very bad.
I think there's something like eventually they're going to have a product, and I think it's going to be reliable because they have Adrian Newey, but it's about getting there, and I don't think that that's going to be solved in this year. Like, it's going to take us way longer.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you have teams like Audi, who it's very impressive what they've done. They've not used a different manufacturer for their engine.
Yeah.
They've like done this all from scratch, and that is so impressive. But look at the reliability. Like, how many DNFs have we had in this season in like 4 races?
I would love to know if they just threw the Mercedes engine in the
I
back.
wonder,
like what would happen?
Yeah.
Like, is the aero like God because Newey made the aero, and like the Honda power units just like shit.
But you wouldn't think, because if Red Bull have a Honda power,
but they changed the regs because of the new regulations. We can sit here and speculate. We just don't know.
Yeah,
we just don't know.
We don't have all the answers.
But for sprint qualifying in general, they lined up on the grid for the sprint race. Norris polled it with a 1:27.8, with Antonelli not too far behind with a 1:28.0, followed by Piastri, so McLaren both in the top 3.
Yeah, and how do we finish that
They
race?
took a massive step in qualifying. I think McLaren and Ferrari, you can see, McLaren particularly, with how they finished the race, there's a massive step forward there.
They've got pace, they've got qualifying pace, they've got it all. They're like, even in the race today, you could see their tyre deg was fine. They're doing the same thing they did last year, where they just miraculously can't kill their tyres, or at least Lando couldn't. Oscar was having a bit more.
Yeah, I think coming into the weekend, people were saying like, Oscar's got it. Yeah, like Oscar's like got the nose over Norris, but I think after this, Norris does like this track, and both being Aussies, trying not to be biased. Like, I think Norris does have the edge. Yeah. Now that he's done this result, he was in the hunt for the win as well.
I should say naturally, because I love Max Verstappen. That does mean that I'm not the biggest Lando. No. Well, actually, I'm not the biggest McLaren fan. It's not even necessary. It is about Lando, but it's not necessarily just about him. I love Oscar because he's Aussie. Yeah. But the McLaren Daniel Ricciardo situation lingers in my brain, and that is the only reason that I'm not like fully supportive of. I love Oscar because he's Aussie, but I can't be like yay McLaren because they screwed another Aussie, you know.
They did.
So every time that Norris wins, it's just a bit like, oh, like I just wish it was Oscar. I just wish it was Oscar.
We do wish it was Oscar, and last year still lingers in our brains rent free as well.
Our brains? You were a Lando supporter for the first half.
I just wanted to see McLaren win.
So Norris took it.
But for the sprint race, Norris came home with the win.
Yep.
Followed by Oscar, 3 seconds behind. Leclerc, 6 seconds behind. So
the spread is way better.
Mercedes, spread.
Like, aren't as dominant, which is great. That's what you want. But it's not like it's not like that the FIA has screwed them over in terms of these regulation changes. Yeah. I think it would be really unfair if they had a really dominant car, they changed these regs, and then all of a sudden they were dropping into 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. But they're still really competitive, as we saw in the race today. Kimi won. Yeah. So I think it's good. It's brought other teams back into the race a little bit, which
it has.
Way
it absolutely
better.
Has.
I think Ferrari off the jump, we've all seen Leclerc's jump.
Oh, the Pro power unit's awesome because of the small turbos, and everyone's talked about that at length. But they always
going to say Ferrari's worst enemies.
Is their own, and that even proved it in the race as well.
Yeah, even Leclerc, when they were like, "Why'd you bring me in when there's rain coming in the race today?"
It's true, but it did turn out to be the right call, actually. But it also means that I think it was the second race radio where he said, why'd you make that call without consulting me first? He was like, I'm driving, why would you not consult me? Yeah. And there's also an element of do they need to consult you? The strategists are there to be paid.
But if they're saying we're pitting and they go on slicks, and then 2 laps later they're radioing to Charles to be like, oh, by the way, there's rain coming. They didn't know the severity of the rain. Yeah. And this time it worked out fine, but we know there's been 100 times where it hasn't worked out fine. Ferrari's it never changes spots. Yeah. But I think they have a great car. They're definitely competitive.
They do. They're coming through. There was good upgrades. Hamilton seemed a bit more competitive again, he did, which was nice to see.
Gives me a sick satisfaction that he's not picking it up as fast as he probably should be, seeing how competitive Charles is. But today he's done a lot better compared to the last few races.
Yeah, I think Kim was there this weekend.
Yeah, she was.
I don't know. I didn't see
they didn't put
it.
her on stream, so that's good.
Was she actually there?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to have a
No,
look
we
at
didn't
that.
see.
Yeah.
He did a hot lap with Kendall Jenner, though.
Yeah, he
We
did.
see
So
that.
I would assume
Yeah.
that she was there or thereabouts, but I'm glad that they didn't focus on her on the broadcast because that's just such a money grab.
I do agree. What about Martin Brundle's getting down with Jimmy Kimmel on the
Yeah,
grid?
that was a bit hectic.
Yeah.
We watched a video, it was like a satire video on YouTube about celebrities on the F1 grid, and it just points out so much of like...
It does.
Yeah, it's just a money grab.
It shows you what's going on.
Yeah, exactly right. But,
it really does. But by that, the sprint race, I think, was just a sprint race.
Pretty, yeah.
19 laps of just
not
F1
too
cars. Really not too much. The boys really saved it for... Well, they've got... The thing about a sprint race is that if they go too hard and bin their car...
Yep.
Qualifying's that afternoon.
Yeah, exactly right.
And you don't want a bent race car
and
qualifying for the actual main race.
Yeah, exactly right.
So the boys really did hold back because the race turned out to be pretty good as well. But
main race.
Yeah, if we shift to, I guess, do we want to do qualifying first? We'll just look at the results. So Kimi poled it.
Yeah, you cannot talk about, like, you couldn't give him enough gratitude of like how good Kimi Antonelli is, and we all knew it before he was even a driver on the grid. Everyone talked about Antonelli's coming in, and everyone knew that he was going to be good. But like he broke a stat today. A driver has never in the history of Formula One done their first 3 consecutive poles and converted them all to race wins. Like that speaks for itself, doesn't it?
It was so good.
He's going to be a generational driver, I think.
He's.
At 19,
I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
He is crazy, and for him to keep so calm.
Yeah.
In all of these races, like I think Suzuka, everyone's talked about it. Yep, he got a bit of luck with the safety car.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get him, you take him. Like Lando got that with Miami the year he got his first win at Miami as well.
Even talk to me about that one.
So it's like they all get him.
Yeah,
they all have him. But he won the race. He still had to drive the car to
there.
the end and make sure he wasn't losing pace. So
yeah, you can't criticize
still
the
did a good
driver
job
because it always falls your way sometimes. Yeah, and I think just like he's 19, he's got his whole career ahead of him. If you compare him to Russell's been in that car. I know it's obviously new regs, but he's comfortable with a Mercedes. He's familiar, and you see where Russell's falling, and it's been like 5th, 6th, 7th-ish for most of the quali and race. Mm-hmm. It just puts into perspective how good Antonelli is.
I actually start to think like Russell's on tilt.
Absolutely, I think it'll get into his head so much.
I think he's in his head.
Yeah,
I think it's in there already.
And I think because the whole world was talking about Russell will be world champion, like Mercedes with this car, they're just so, and no one was really committing to being like it'll be Kimi that does it. Everyone, I think he had an expectation.
Kimi's driving with zero pressure. He's like George. Everyone said you're going to be the world champion.
Yeah,
and he's just there lapping it up. I think it'll be interesting to see if, like halfway through last year, Oscar just really shit the bed.
Yeah.
To take that world champion. It was his to lose and he lost it.
He did, yeah.
So right now, if Kimi wins like 2 of the next 3, I think the pressure does mount on Kimi to be like, okay, dude, and I think finish Russell this off now.
Gets more desperate as time goes on. And it's always a 50-50, the desperation. It either helps the driver or it hurts them. It either like propels them and they're like, nah, head down, I'm doing this. Or they crumble because it's so much pressure.
So much pressure.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see in that. But you can't like state it enough how good Antonelli is. And
he's driving so well.
Yeah.
So well.
You can see how much it means to him in these early stages. Every win, he's got tears in his eyes. His family's so supportive. So it's nice to see. Like if Mercedes is going to win, let it be Kimi.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah.
Exactly. He's on it.
Yeah.
He's doing really well.
And I think George is he second in the Drivers' Champion? It's not like he's far behind. It's not crazy. Check. Yeah, the gap. But all I know is Kimi's topping it, and he's topping it by a while. Yeah, he's second.
So George is 20 points behind at the moment, and then we go Leclerc on 59. So if we look at this already, like 100 points for Kimi, 80 points to Russell, 59 points to Leclerc after. That is a gap of, quick math in my head, 21 points. And then we go to Norris on 51, Hamilton 51, they're tied, Piastri 43. I think Piastri to have only, and McLaren to only have done 2 races technically. Oscar's only done 2 races and he's 6th in the championship.
Should we talk a little about Oscar and what's been happening for him? Do you think it's just unlucky?
This weekend?
No, this whole season so far. Do you think he's just been unlucky?
Australia was Australia. Yeah. I think we can all move on. past that.
We were sat there in the crowd.
That was horrible.
He was obviously going for Piastri, and we saw it on the big
It fell
screen.
silent. Like the
Yeah.
place fell silent.
There was like, not everyone was in the grandstands because everyone was probably toilet, food, getting themselves sorted. But we were just watching them drive around with commentary on. And the second he crashed, it instantly cut away to commentators or something like that. And I saw it. And I saw Lando come in straight after, so I knew it was Oscar, and I was saying that was Oscar. And Lockie was like, nah, that's replays from last year.
Surely showing
in denial.
highlights.
But it was, as you said, everyone was like gasping, silence, just waiting to figure it out because they cut away. No one really knew what happened, and then they said it, and that was
one of the most out of control things is they have like the Oscar Piastri stand.
Oh.
And then everyone has like the little Oscar Piastri hats and everyone's walking around it. I think Oscar's made 100 mil in merch sales just from this one weekend.
Yeah.
And he bins it on the outlap to the grid. Not even the formation.
Not even outlap. Yeah, it's just... I think obviously that's unlucky.
It was down to the car, like, whatever.
What about the rest of his season?
It's so annoying. Rest of the season... I mean, like he said it, when we start these things, we actually go all right.
Yeah.
I think Lando showed that in Australia as well. He finished. I forget the result, but I think it was like 5th, 6th, 7th, around that realm. And when they complete and compete, they can go all right. And now with this upgrade package, they can show they can really fight as well. Yeah. Put podiums at minimum.
Piastri finishes this season above Norris, or do you think Norris is
No, I think Norris will hold him off.
Dang.
I think just based upon, him coming off being a world champion.
He's definitely not world champion this year. I can't see a world.
Who's your world champion?
Kimmy, I think.
It's Kimmy? I think it's Kimmy too.
A teenager world champ.
I want to say Kimmy, but then there's also like in my gut, I'm like,
it's a long
George.
Season. No.
I think George will. I just think he's got so much experience to be like,
he does, yeah.
Okay, let's just get down in this, like in the trenches and carve 2 points here, 3 points here, 5 points there.
He should,
and just try and push a bit of pressure onto that garage on the other side.
It'll also depend, I reckon, how the rest of the grid goes with their upgrade packages and everything as to how dominant they actually are.
Canada will be huge.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they've done, but...
Because if they come out with upgrades at Canada and brain everyone again, this weekend was for nothing.
Exactly right. This was just
Mercedes constructor for sure. I don't think we need to touch on that. Mercedes constructor.
Place a bet.
Yeah. Put the house on it.
No.
So that's driver standings.
Yes, yeah.
But for qualifying, how we lined up, like Verstappen in second.
So
good to see Red Bull back in there. Hadjar, he was 7th. Hadjar was in there at 7th, but then he got disqualified for the barge boards, I think, being 2 millimeter too wide.
It always puts
very frustrating
into context.
And then he just binned it in the race anyway. Yeah. So
I mean, it didn't really matter, but
no good from
there.
It
is good. I think I'll always gasp as Verstappen up, but don't you love the memes about him driving a tractor and like still doing it?
Dude could have a submarine out there, and he could put it on the top 10. Like,
I was really excited when they said it was going to be a wet race because we all know what Max can do in the wet.
He's the one guy you want. Like if wet race, it's like I'm back in that.
I swear, one time he did an interview saying he prefers it.
Yeah, because he just knows.
Yeah,
he's got. I think he has that mental edge of everyone goes.
The confidence.
Oh, Max in the wet.
Yeah.
Max is behind me in the wet. Like, he's going to come for me.
He just sends it when no one else sends it. He finds grip when there's not. Like,
so
it's,
good.
But it sprinkled barely in this race.
It was nothing. Yeah. It was really nothing.
And then he obviously
I wish it did rain.
Me too.
I would have loved to have seen that, because there were a few teams out there that were just really banking on it. Yeah. Like he was as well.
Yeah, who stayed out really long? Was it Colapinto?
Colapinto waited for ages. He did finish in the top 10, which was impressive for Colapinto. He stayed out there for ages. Aston all stayed out there for ages to try and pass Cadillac for 20th.
0 points.
Yeah, well done, guys.
So Max had that big 360, which put him down.
Oh, that was the best race start ever.
Yeah. Not for me, but...
Do we cut to the race?
Yeah,
cut to the race? I think fantastic.
I don't think there was anything different about this quali other than less recharging, which is exactly what
I think maybe, in general, I thought it was more of a spectacle.
Yeah.
And it was better to watch.
Yeah.
Compared to the last ones.
That's fair.
I think if for the motorsport fiend like me, I thought it was better to watch than some of the last ones. But you as a neutral, watching it was they're just a time's a time, isn't it?
Yeah, impacted my viewing experience. But yes, the race. I mean, we already got into it. Kimi's impressive.
Race start.
Leclerc gets the best jump.
Always. That Ferrari has like a little mushroom
Honestly,
at the start when he kicks off, or he goes into star mode.
Yeah.
Verstappen, big block on
Huge.
Norris into the... Kimi and Max, both fronts locked going into turn 1.
Yep.
In the middle was, I think it was Norris.
Yep.
From there. No, Leclerc locked. No,
Leclerc
Leclerc was in the middle. Leclerc was in the middle.
Yeah.
Leclerc went through.
Around the left side.
Yep. And then Max came back on in.
Yeah.
Both go into turn 2.
Yeah.
Max does one of the best pirouettes in motorsports I've ever seen in my entire life. It was incredible.
I literally shut my eyes because I was like, that's him done. DNF,
Yep.
my God. But
Skid was awesome.
I literally had my eyes closed when you were like, no, he's still in it, And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was like...
I for sure thought in the wall, like...
Straight away, I'm like, Max is gone.
Yeah.
Max is gone.
No, so that was impressive, but obviously it stunted his drive. He still ended up P5, I think, in the end, so... And didn't get a penalty for crossing the white line, so that's fine. I think if it had rained, that would have given him a more competitive edge, but whatever.
Yeah.
Heartbreak for Charles.
Charles thought he was saying I think halfway through the race he goes to Max like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do this spin.
Oh yeah.
And came off second best.
Yeah, but
I actually don't know why it happened still.
It looked like, I think his rear wing was closing and it just sent him. Like, I think he just lost the rear and he just went.
Okay.
Because they were talking about the rear wing closing.
But it looked weird. It looked like he had a lot of understeer and then all of a sudden he just he just got gassed up and brushed the wall, really. Like, just like the first couple of things, just really brushed the wall and just got a bit of damage and that was it.
I think we've deduced that he must have been already shown the black and white flag for track limits, like many drivers were. I think Norris was, and like a bunch of drivers were. And then to get his car with no suspension home, he had to cut a lot of quarters to get it to the finish line.
Yeah.
And then he copped a 20-second penalty for that.
I think it's a weird one.
Even the commentators were like, no, there's no way, that's ridiculous, because they were talking about eras where, people...
Did they?
Yeah, they were saying, because they're like, was it Nigel Mansell that like pushed his car over the finish line? Like they're talking about how it's like it got there. Like he obviously was losing time. It's not like he was getting any advantage from that. What's the point of a 20-second penalty? It dropped him down, I think, 2 spots. Where did he finish?
No, he's 8th.
8th, yeah.
He crossed the line.
No, because Russell and Verstappen got him right in the last corner, remember? So he was 6th and he's now 8th. So what was the point? It wasn't dangerous. Like, they weren't saying like an unsafe condition. They said track limits was the reason he got the 20-second penalty. So just, I think, a bit unnecessary. Maybe unsafe condition I could get of like, you couldn't really turn that car very well. Yeah. So I think I would understand more if that's what he got it for. But I think that's a bit of salt in the wound in terms of like,
it does suck. It does suck. He's already got a broken car and he's already been passed by a couple of people. He's got no advantage. It was pretty broken up.
But I think if that hadn't have happened, he was looking really good for a podium.
Yeah, it was like
competitive.
Again, like if all of these teams can stay within this band of, because Ferrari's great off the line and their players, if we can have track position in front of everyone else, just keep them behind. Hold that for the race.
Yep.
McLaren seemed to be able to fight the Mercedes as well because Norris and Piastri passed George on their own merit, really. That's right. Got through. And the Red Bull seems quick in the hands of Max, and I think Hadjar will get there as well.
Hadjar's not been doing that bad compared to all of the...
He did have he sent it into the wall though.
Yeah. He sent it into Pierre Gasly, I think. That was his fault.
No, that was... who flipped Piastri?
I'm pretty sure it was Liam Lawson.
No. He was in the chicane. Hadjar, back chicane.
No, Liam Lawson flipped Pierre Gasly, I'm sure of it.
Liam Lawson did.
That's what I was just saying.
You said Hadjar did.
No, what? We have this on recording.
Okay, I swear you said Hadjar.
If I did, I'm sorry.
Okay. Lawson did flip.
Yeah,
it was Lawson. It was Lawson.
Well.
That was a big shunt.
Yeah, I know. Every time there's a shunt like that, I'm just like, our safety regs are so good for these drivers nowadays.
So good.
Back in the day, someone's dead,
Could you imagine if they didn't have a halo and that happened? I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
The images of Gasly being sideways in the air, it's One of the all-time shots.
It's a great shot.
That could be photo of the year.
Yeah, his under of his car was stuck up on the tyres as well, so I'm sure all the teams
Yeah.
copped a really good look of
Wedged
what was
in
under
there. I mean, yeah. I think Alpine in general should also be praised.
Absolutely. They're coming like 5th. They're
both got it into the top 10 of qualifying.
They've been really consistent too.
Gasly driving well. Colapinto
Doing better.
Doing better.
Yeah.
Doing much
better.
From
his rookie season, I think. Yeah.
7th.
Yeah.
That's one of the best results
awesome.
for
above
them.
Leclerc.
Yeah, above Leclerc, finishing 7th.
Yeah.
Hamilton also getting there.
Yeah.
Because of Leclerc's penalty.
I didn't realise both Williams are in the points too, Sainz and Albon. So that's really good because they had a bit of a rough
That is
start.
huge for that team,
yeah.
actually.
They did really good last year. Sainz having a bit of a whinge about Max, being like, oh, he thinks he can drive however he wants just because he's racing the midfield. Max just drives
he did.
aggressive.
That's right. Was that? That was during the race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was because Max was going. He's driving aggressive.
I mean, Max is following the FIA rules of
he didn't get a penalty.
first to the apex.
He didn't touch.
They don't
the car.
care. And FIA don't care about running you wide.
No,
there's no penalty for that.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, they just love to have a whinge about him because he does drive more aggressive than other people. Obviously, that's his drive style, but. I just thought that was funny, and I kind of was like, don't be in the midfield then.
It was so entertaining though to watch him just carve up. They had on the totem for a good 30 minutes of the broadcast, just Max just leveling up through.
I literally wish I could have a split screen to watch it.
It was awesome. It was great to watch.
Yeah,
and just getting a car.
I think that was all the big moments in.
Essentially, but a good race.
Yeah, great race.
Thoroughly good race.
Best one. No one drove away with it. There wasn't some crazy 30-second gap in front. It was good. Yep. I think the safety car helped that, obviously, but it was nice to see a tight race, bunched up, lots of passing. It felt like, I don't think the drivers would agree that it felt nicer to drive, but it looked like, at least to the viewer, that they weren't having as much accidental overtaking and
well, Max seemed
happy. There was much more of a fight. Yeah.
Max has come out this week and said it's in the right direction.
Yeah.
These regulations are coming to us.
Piastri had a bit of a whinge in the cool down room as he should.
Yeah, the defense. Oh, well, yeah, that's right. That's actually good picking that up because Leclerc goes off.
Yeah.
Piastri, in the old regulations, you've got so much momentum coming out of that corner that you would just blitz past.
Yeah.
Piastri's gone.
Yeah.
But because Leclerc has so much battery power, theoretically, that's what I'm thinking there, has so much battery power still, he just beans it past him into the back corner and he just did absolutely nothing. You can't touch him.
Yeah. I think that's what I there is more passes, which is what the FIA were trying to do, but it doesn't feel as satisfying if they're not working hard and having to use strategy and having to be patient and wait for this corner and there's not as much of that. As they kept saying, turn 17 used to be the best spot for overtaking and now you basically can't do it because you use your battery and then you get past, so there's no point trying to do it there. So I think it's it is more interesting driving because there's lots more overtakes, but I can see why the drivers are frustrated of what am I meant to do?
Yeah, it is.
It's not fun.
It is. It's weird. In my heart of hearts, it's good racing. I understand why it's entertaining. I think not having such a rubber banding yo-yo racing like that was in the first three
is better.
This looks like a far more refined, more interesting product that when overtakes happen, they kind of happen.
Yeah.
And you can make them stick. Even in the DRS era, you used to have, I think Qatar was really bad for it. Front straight, guys who get the drag, overtake on the front straight with DRS. Then that next back straight, the person that's now just been overtaken can get DRS and get back past them again. So that problem has been in F1 for a couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
So I think this just helps. I'm enjoying. I enjoyed this better than the last. Are they perfect? I think they can get better.
Yeah.
But this was better.
Yeah.
Better this weekend.
That's a nice way to wrap up the F1.
I think
that's a very big key moment. Yeah.
And Kimi Antonelli, fantastic win, bro.
Awesome work.
Well done. McLaren double podium.
Really wanted Piastri to get Norris at the end there.
That would have been good.
Really wanted Verstappen to keep the place against Russell, but you can't win them all.
Can't win them all. Is what it is.
All right.
Good race.
Supercars. Okay, moving on to our Supercars hot takes.
Supercars hot takes?
Supercars hot takes. Yeah, I wonder if we can
start
some
I guess for people that have tuned in for F1 but don't know what the Supercars Championship is, it's essentially the best... Well, it's the Australian Touring Car Championship, but it's branded as the Supercars Championship here in Australia. And the championship goes across Australia and New Zealand. They race predominantly front-engined, V8, rear-wheel drive beasts with a manual transmission, and it's really one of the greatest. I think it's the greatest touring car championship on earth. But we've just come out of a New Zealand doubleheader. They raced in Taupo and Ruapuna. Ruapuna was the new track for Supercars in the event that's just gone. And they'd never raced there before. I thought it was a really good event. I think it was a really good track for what Supercars are, which are essentially just
road cars,
but like that. I like tracks that are a bull ring, and you can kind of just throw them in there and they just like hammer it out.
Yeah.
When they're on bigger tracks, like at the Bend, which is a really big track, I don't think they really shine. Whereas where all the combat, or all the door rubbing and all the good stuff that happened in all the battles at Ruapuna were just like, like all the battles were fantastic. I thought it was a really good track. It had good opportunities to pass down on the straight, areas that you could dive bomb a bit, which we can discuss. And then also really nice technical sections through the middle. Good to qualify on. The drivers, I think that it is quite a narrow track as well. So like there's not going to be a load of area to try and pass on that track. But I think in the more years that the guys go there, there'll be better racing from there anyway.
For the girlies who love F1 but don't know anything about Supercars, I think what makes it so good is it's so much more aggressive than F1. It looks like any move that would ever be penalised in Formula 1 is like play on in Supercars. It's like, doesn't matter, hit them, run them, like unless you're being incredibly dangerous, basically everything's fine. Like they really just don't care that much, and it makes for much more interesting and like more aggressive racing. And I feel like they can just battle it out so much more than you can in F1. And there's so much more to protect and so much more at stake in F1 versus Supercars. Like, they go out with masking tape thrown on their cars just to hold the bumper. Like, they do crazy stuff. It's not as, like, not high stakes. I don't want to say that because obviously it's still a championship. But it's just, like, there's so much more room for playing around like that. It makes for not way more interesting racing. That feels mean to the F1. But it's just, like, it's so entertaining to watch. Yeah. And if a driver has a personal gripe with someone, or there is that rivalry there, every time they come up to them on a track, I'm like, oh my god, like what's going to happen? Because they can be so much more aggressive about it. In F1, really, you can block them, you can make it hard for them to pass, but that's really it. In Supercars, you can bang on their doors, you can hit their rear bumper, like you can, it's like dodgem cars out there. Like you can tell them, I'm here and I'm mad, like, and it's way more interesting to watch, I think. So once you understand all of the lore behind it, it makes for such interesting racing. I love watching the Supercars races. Rubbing
is racing in Supercars. Yeah. Like it's, if you want to door someone, hit them in the bumper, like
whatever.
There's definitely levels to it.
There is, yeah.
But there's a lot more flexibility in terms of, well, that's what makes it entertaining. That's what makes Supercars what they are, because you can start rubbing down the straight or like getting on the inside, like by shoving them wide. Like that's some of the best stuff ever.
I can never pick when they're going to get a penalty in Supercars because something that
unless you put the bloke in the fence, like you're fine.
Pretty good,
it's
But then sometimes they get random penalties and I'm like,
it seemed a bit weird for that one. Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, all of the doubleheader, it was incredible. Great racing. Awesome. It sucked about them having to delay the race, but it actually made for a really jam-packed weekend. Like we've
got 4 races
back to back to back to back. Yeah. I think the Supercars is a bit different in that way, as in like you go to one place and have one race in that place, whereas Supercars you'll have like 3 races in a weekend, and there's how many races in a?
It depends what it is. So like through the Sprint Cup, you can have the Super 440s where there's meant to be 2 120 kilometre races and then 1 220 kilometre race. No. 2 110s. No, 2 120s and then 1 200. Yeah. 120, 120, 200.
So they'd side the races by kilometres of the track, and that determines how many laps. So same as Formula 1, I guess, but they're trying to hit specific kilometres, and that's how they divvy it up between the races. Which makes it more interesting, I think, because it's just basically like if you stopped an F1 race, made them re-qualify and then restart. It's more starts, it's more interesting racing, more crashes, more shunts, more everything, basically. It's so good. Except the new format is very controversial. Obviously, that's what led to, Brock Feeney heartbreak last year. Can't talk about it.
Yeah. He's winning this year.
hope so.
I guess like now we should really get it out here. Prediction for Supercars champion.
I'll back
this year.
Beefy. I'll back
Yeah,
him.
and if it's not him, who?
Matt Payne.
Great shout.
He's looking so.
Good call.
His time will come. Same as Beefy. Like his time will come. If it's not this year, it'll be soon. But
yeah,
Kostecki's looking fiery, but I don't want it to be him.
I think it really could be him.
Yeah.
I think he'll win. I think Kostecki will win the Sprint Cup. Like he'll win this first portion of the championship, and then I could see Feeney winning the finals.
The redemption story would be crazy.
Because you just need to get into the 10.
Yeah.
And then
there's no way Ryan Wood's not making the finals this year, so I think that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, should I cover this for the girls? This is the biggest story.
I feel like I think a lot of people know about it, but if you want to
that's fine.
go into it,
No, it's alright.
we going there?
No.
Okay.
Shouldn't touch that.
We shouldn't go in there.
No, it's heartbreak. But if you ever want a really interesting story...
Well, I guess we can talk about Feeney won the JR Trophy.
Yes.
Which was very cool. So he won the trophy, which is awarded to the most consistent driver across the two rounds, essentially. Whoever comes out with the most points.
Yep.
Feeney won it with 2 laps to go in the final race at Ruapuna because of I think this is one of the most insane moves that I've ever seen from a race car driver.
Oh my god.
Ever.
Yep.
So essentially...
Well, Ryan Wood first.
Yeah.
DNFs, his engine.
So Ryan Wood DNFs.
Yeah.
He's leading...
He's
leading the cup. New Zealander.
Everyone's
hometown hero.
backing him.
Everyone is riding him home like he's got enough points. All he has to do is finish. And he walks home with the Jason Richards trophy. It has it's just got so much narrative all over it.
So much meaning for him.
So much meaning.
Compared to a non-New Zealand driver, they're like, oh, cool. Like, that's great. But, it's not personal.
It's so personal. And I think 10 laps to go or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Engine dies.
Yeah.
Out of the race.
Yeah.
Safety cars called.
He's just sitting on the side of the straight.
Like, him sitting there is one of... I think you have to feel for Woody there in terms of...
Absolutely.
Pushed so hard.
He
wants it so bad.
Yeah, I get, and it means so much more to him than
for sure.
anybody that's
you have to feel bad for him.
The reason that this is tea is because last year, Brock Feeney was set to win. He had been dominant all year. He was doing so well, and he was set to win the finals, so win the whole championship.
Yeah.
And they changed the format. It used to be just whoever had the most points at the end of the season wins. Yeah. This year, it was like you have to get into the top 10, and then race by race, they eliminate some drivers. So if you're in the top 10, it's basically reset. So anyone can win it from there. Kind of like the football.
Yep.
It doesn't matter as long as you're in the finals. Mm-hmm. And Brock Feeney was set to win. And Ryan Wood is teammates with...
Chaz Mostert.
Chaz Mostert, who did win. And Ryan Wood made a move.
Controversial move.
A very controversial move. I can
into the staircase.
It's burned in there.
Yeah,
and basically spins Brock Feeney out. Hits the wall. Brock Feeney did continue the race.
Continued, and then he had a crank position sensor failure.
Yeah,
failure, which meant that the engine wasn't performing.
Yes. So basically...
A lot of people can look at it in terms of, well, if the crank sensor was going to fail anyway, would have he won?
But would it have failed if he didn't get sent into the wall?
You never know, and we will never know. But it sparks one of the greatest.
Oh my gosh, it's like
rivalries.
If it were anybody else on the grid, you wouldn't question it. And even watching it back, it definitely does not look intentional. It does not look you watch it back and
he gives him room.
Yeah. It doesn't look intentional whatsoever. But if it weren't for the fact that that is Chaz Mostert's teammate, who then went on to win the championship, that has to make questions in your head about everyone's intentions.
For me, it's the cut to the garage, and Ryan Walkinshaw's there, elated. That was the ooh, okay. Not a great look.
Sobbed like a baby with Brock Feeney. When he got out of that car, he was devastated.
We fell for him.
I was like, I've never seen...
He worked so hard.
I'm going to cry now.
Yeah.
It's like, I've never seen a more broken man in my whole life. And you just that got me.
And he just... Because any other season, if this wasn't a finals, if it wasn't the first year of the finals, takes the cup.
Absolutely.
Home,
no questions asked. Yeah. And I think he just really worked hard. He really deserved it. Anyway.
Do you hear a moment?
Cut back to this year. New Zealand. Ryan Wood was about to get the J.R. Richards. Is that what
Jason Richards
Jason
Memorial
Richards.
Trophy, which is a great trophy.
And his engine blew up on the
Engine
straight.
blew up.
But
Toyota,
it wasn't Brock Feeney's yet, and I think it adds a layer of drama to it that both of the Red Bulls were having radio transmission issues. So they basically couldn't hear their team back in the garage. So Brock Feeney didn't know at that point that he was like the shoe-in for it, depending on where Brody Kostecki fit.
I think what it was Kostecki and Feeney were tied.
Yes, exactly
tied
right.
on
And whoever
points.
finished in the highest average position would have
took the trophy.
Yeah. And Brock Feeney was behind Kostecki, but if Kostecki took the other way around. If Kostecki took one more car, which was Chaz Mostert, he would have won the trophy. Yeah. Brock Feeney obviously didn't know this.
We need to get to Feeney.
Yeah. Brock Feeney didn't know this.
Feeney I'm pretty sure Feeney was behind Kostecki.
Yeah.
Kostecki was like, I need to get in front of Chaz because if Feeney dives me here, he's going to take the trophy.
I think it was the other way around.
All right, let's check the clip. Kostecki's behind Mostert.
So Kostecki needed to get Chaz Mostert, who won that championship last year. Kostecki, needed to get Chaz.
Yeah. So Feeney's up the road, which is good.
Yeah. He has no idea what's actually happening.
He has
because
no
there's
idea.
comms,
but
he's just driving.
Kostecki wants to get to
Kostecki
Feeney
gets the radio comms because they're basically telling him, you are able to get the JR trophy if you can get...
You get past Feeney. Yeah. Because they were confused, because if they finished the way they were...
Feeney would have had it because he was ahead.
That's right. But if Kostecki got one more position, he would have gotten more points to win the trophy, even though he would have finished behind Feeney.
That's right.
Yeah.
So then there was a move, and so this is what sparked our conversation around the Moto Racing 360.
Yeah, Sean Fox.
Is because they're so affiliated with Supercars, they really were dancing around this whole move. It was very controversial. Online, people were calling for race bans, champion points taken away. Like, people were outraged about this move, rightfully so. Yeah. And they just sort of danced around it. So what do you think of this this move from
It's been labelled as, like,
Chaz?
Malicious.
It was,
and
by Brody Kostecki.
Let me get it out there that, okay, now, they're best buds.
Yeah,
and
they went to a party.
They've all caught up and everything, which is great to see.
Yeah.
And I have no shadow of a doubt that Chaz is a great guy. Never met him. Don't know if I ever will. But I'm sure all of these guys are great blokes.
They're all, it's never...
And it's never about the person.
Thing,
exactly. It's never a character thing. No. But, judging your actions on track, that's up for debate for anyone to be able to say.
Yes.
And I think this move was... crazy. It was out of this world. I think to move 3 times under a straight, dooring someone, whether wheels interlocked or not, if that was in F1, and I know that they're 2 different complete sports, and they're adjudicated very differently, it would be major consequences.
Absolutely.
Rightly so, Chaz got 30 seconds. But even for the initial...
Which dropped him down how many places?
Behind Kostecki.
No, he still finished ahead of Kostecki.
Ahead of Kostecki, even though,
because Kostecki crashed out that hard.
He couldn't get back to it.
Yeah.
And had to do the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the move was it was well out of line. Well out of line. Do I think Chaz is this person that would go ahead and do this on all the time? No. But he did do it the weekend prior to Will Brown coming down the back straight at Taupo as well. So, this on the straight move in terms of I'm just going to door you over to the side because I'm here.
And I'm asserting myself.
There's
a safety element.
There is safety. First time, it's okay. Second time, you send a bloke off.
And not just
so
off,
hard.
but cataclysmically, sending it, almost hit 3 cars. Will Brown had to take avoiding action. He dropped down the ladder so much just to avoid this collision because of Chaz. And there's always going to be an argument in crashes like this of it's under pressure, it's the heat of the moment, and as you've said, it's not a character thing. I don't think he intentionally was let me just send...
Yeah, let me just send Kostecki off. Exactly.
But it's your job, it's your profession, and you do have a duty of care for the other blokes out there.
Exactly.
That you're not going to do that to someone, and you did. And that's he barely took any accountability for it. Especially right after the race, him and Brody were having words about it. They were in the garage. Brody went and labelled it
down.
Yes, they were no.
Locked it down. We need to figure out this PR.
Yeah. And then Chaz made a post after it, and it was an apology. It was sorry to, Kostecki and the team, but it wasn't ever taking any accountability. It wasn't that move was wrong, I shouldn't have done it, this is my defense. It never acknowledged his part in it. Yeah. All he said was not our day, sorry to Brody. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it's if you pull in moves like that, I think you should acknowledge, that wasn't safe.
Yeah.
And that wasn't right, and you ruined 5 people's races.
Yeah, it's not good enough. It's really not.
Yeah.
And And this is something that the footy codes look at in terms of whatever the outcome is, like
Determines the penalty.
Yeah. I would have been really surprised to see if Kostecki got T-boned by Brown, or Kostecki got T-boned by someone else coming through. Crazy big shunt.
Absolutely.
Huge shunt. And what that penalty would have led to. But does the punishment fit the crime enough to like deter something like that? Because because there wasn't a crash.
Well, I think it's just like Chaz's penalty for that still gave him more points than Kostecki. Like,
yeah, it seems strange
feels
that
like unfitting. Like,
finished ahead of him.
Yeah, exactly right.
Does.
They gave him a penalty, but it feels like that probably didn't teach him. He still got more. Like, he still came out on top. Obviously, they didn't get the trophy and blah blah blah. But yeah, and then in the most ironic trophy award ever, Brock Feeney then got the JR trophy from Ryan Wood because his teammate crashed into Kostecki, who was going to get it. Like, it's
very. I find it so ironic that Feeney's car broke down. Chaz wins a trophy. Ryan Wood's car broke down. Feeney wins a trophy. I do find it very ironic, and that is just great for the rivalry. Great for the rivalry.
And like the amount of layers that you have to know to get how entertaining that moment was. And then I think it should also be said, and this is why I have so much respect for Brock Feeney, his speech after to Ryan Wood was like, I'm so sorry, I know how that feels, like that would have,
top shelf.
Whereas when you go back and look at how broken down Brock Feeney was over losing this championship, and like the Walkinshaw guys, and they were just like, wow, like, this is so good, it's so good, without even acknowledging what happened. It's just, I'm not speaking on character or anything like that, but it just gives me so much more respect that Brock Feeney didn't need to do that. Like,
it was class. It was all class.
Just glazed over it.
Real professional.
And it just makes me want him to win so much more.
That's where we go to the finals.
Yeah, that's hopefully. Right. Long season.
Big season.
He's doing well so far.
Yeah.
I got to see him on podium at Melbourne, which was good. We ran out and watched him.
Hell yeah.
It
was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Cool. But in terms of...
I feel like there was also another big shunt in. Was it Ryland Gray or something got a championship point docked from him?
Gray, because his car DNF, they couldn't give him a time penalty. So I think he got championship points. There's just because Cosentina in the start of the final race, I'm pretty sure. So that was a bit
hectic.
Neither here nor there, really. Like that team, it's really interesting actually. Ryland Gray, first year, full time. Kostecki, I'm pretty sure, leads the championship at the moment.
It's Beefine. It's Beefine!
Is it?
Yeah, they said he was getting the orange letters. I swear.
That's right, he was getting the orange numbers. Yeah, he's back on top. So championship at the moment, it goes Feeney, Kostecki, Payne, Waters, Kai Allen, and then Ryan Wood for our first Toyota. Anton Di Pasquale for our first Chevy.
How good is that?
Not great. And then... James Golding in 8th. I mean, that team has a lot to talk about as well.
Brown would be way higher up if
Brown
he didn't
9th,
have to...
and then Jack LeBrock to round out the 10.
Yeah. Super is very impressive. It's their first year in manufacturer.
Awesome to see that win. That was really good to see that win.
Yeah. That's all I have to say on that. I know they're a new team, and that's impressive that they've come in and they've been competitive. Yeah. Because I think there's a lot of conversation in the sport. I don't feed into it because I don't care for Chevy, whatever. But there's a lot of talk about discrepancies and like... Yeah. You can probably speak to...
I think at the moment, like, there's a lot of talk about parity.
That's what I mean.
In terms of all the cars even, that's what that term really refers to.
Because in this sport, it's meant to be that the cars they're racing in are even, right?
That's right.
Like, that's the whole idea of the rivalry is test which one.
In F1, the constructor build their own cars. Yeah. But this is more a spec series where all the cars should be even enough to within... fractions, that they're all able to race and compete. And so this year, technically, Chevy, Ford, and Toyota have all won a race. So I think that looks good on paper. There's a lot of talk at the moment that the Ford's OP. Yes. As a Chevy supporter, I think Ford just have really good teams.
Can we talk about B grade drivers, B tier drivers?
B tier drivers, yeah, that's good too. You keep talking. I think Ford just currently have really good drivers. Yeah. They do. Penrite is a gun team. Great drivers. Killing it.
So consistent.
Red Bull, gun team. Yeah. Even though they've come from Chevrolet, they're killing it. They're doing awesome.
Cam Waters, he's always been good. Yep,
exactly. Tickford in there as well. Really, really good. So all those teams are really good. Plus also teams like Cool Drive and Liquid Molly.
Yeah, they're doing really well. It's really cool to see.
What's that team name? Why am I forgetting? Blanchard Racing Team, BRT. They've stepped it up this year as well.
Been crazy
Even
to
when
watch.
we were in Sydney to watch, like we were blown away that holy moly, like
I
what are these guys doing on the front row? Like
it's like if
crazy.
F1, like there's all of a sudden a Haas is like taking
Aston's
Polly,
pulled it. Like Aston's pulled it. We're like, what was going on?
How'd that happen? Yeah, they're really good. It's really good to watch them.
Yeah.
But perhaps the most unlucky driver in the entire world is Cameron.
Aaron Cameron's having a shocker.
It's like things.
He has to take a little bit of ownership though.
Yeah, like you're in the wrong place. You're fighting in battle.
Yeah.
But I reckon he's just in a lot of 50-50s that are not going his way. He gets caught up in things that like he couldn't have helped, sort of a thing. It definitely feels like there's a lot of unluckiness.
Heaps.
Yeah. Obviously, he will have to take accountability of like why is this happening to me? But it's still good to see. It's great to see him up there. Like I almost want him to win because it's like an underdog. You want to go for an underdog.
He just I think a bit of fire in his belly comes out in times. He's like, I need to get this back, or I need to come through here.
Desperate.
I'm not a race car driver. I'm not in his shoes, but he's getting in good positions and then just getting shuffled to the back consistently.
Yeah.
I think keep qualifying up there. Like it'll eventually break. He just needs to probably get his elbows out a bit more. Cover a corner here.
It's just experience.
Shove someone off. Getting more experience.
He doesn't have experience up the front. Like he's used to fighting his way through, so he needs a bit more of that defense.
We saw a glimpse at Adelaide last year when he put on the front row next to Feeney for that final race. And then I think binned it in the wall 6 laps later, which wasn't great, but. He's coming through. That team's on the rise. The team's definitely on the rise.
Finished parody chat.
Parody chat?
Yes.
Yeah, I just think...
About the grade drivers.
Right. We'll just parody chat. There's chat amongst the field as to whether the Chev should get an upgrade or the Mustang should be downgraded or the Toyota should be upgraded. I think it's far too early in the season to be even talking about parody. We need to see how this goes beforehand. They did make a change to the Chev though.
Did they?
They did. They moved some downforce from the front to the back. Okay. So it was more in line with last year. Right. Load of stuff went on within there. So we'll see how that goes. That was done before Ruapuna, but as you can see, even though they had last year's car still, I think the good teams still go to the top.
Yeah.
And the good teams just happen to all be in Fords this year, and that's just what it is. And Chevy are trying to get what everyone's calling now an A-grade driver compared to a B-grade driver in the field. So that's where this A-grade versus B-grade has come from in terms of this parity chat. Well, Cam said it first. I don't want to be back here with these B-grade drivers. I think it was a race radio, wasn't it?
They picked up a radio where Cam Waters, who is a great driver, was trying to get through the field, and he was just saying that they were these B-grade drivers were in his way, basically.
Yes, yeah.
And that starts up a very big conversation.
Yeah, that sparked a whole chain reaction of who's in B-grade and who's in A-grade.
And even the commentators were talking about it's I think when you look at Chevys, to me, they've got a very big gap, as in they have all very experienced drivers and all rookies. As in, you're looking at names like Di Pasquale, Jack LeBrock, David Reynolds. They all have the most experienced driver on the grid. So much experience. And they've put them next to Declan Fraser and Jaden. All these people who are newer in the sport, which is great. But they just have two very different ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. And then you look at the most recent championship winners. They're all
all race winners. They're all they're all in Fords.
Yeah. So I think that you can't really talk about parity without acknowledging that. Yeah. And that's where that B grade term comes in. I just feel it's so disrespectful for. It is. Oh, it just feels mean, doesn't it? Yeah. It feels like there's a segregation of your B grade, and I'm sure that when they're talking about it, they're also talking about who was he talking about? Di Pasquale or something?
I actually think it's behind LeBrock. He was behind.
And that's someone who's probably been racing as long as him or longer. Yeah. And he's saying basically that you're not that good.
I think LeBrock's a little bit newer.
I mean, yeah. I feel like he said it about Di Pasquale. I'm pretty sure it was LeBrock. Yeah, but it's just a bit I'm better than you, is basically what it's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Get me out of here.
And can you imagine in F1 if Max is I'll get this B-grade collar pincher out of my way?
Yeah, ironically, Sainz was just because he's faster than us.
Exactly.
Now he's gone through.
Yeah, but it just feels like that is See, that's what I mean, is that F1 is so media controlled and media trained, and Supercars is not like that.
No, they just say whatever. It's so good.
Yeah, and it makes for all these interesting conversations.
And now it's sparked like this really good B grade versus A grade. So I think at the moment, all the A grade teams, majority have the Ford package. I think you could say an A grade team is also Walkinshaw, and they just happen to have the Toyotas this year. That's a really good organisation.
Agreed.
They're going to perform.
And
everyone else, it's almost like, hey, they're the B grade teams, and all those teams are in Chevs, and all those teams are mostly in Toyotas as well. Well, BJR's the only other Toyota team, and they're in Toyotas as well. So that's the split amongst the field at the moment. So Chev is on the hunt for an A grade driver. There are whispers that Matt Payne may have, they're trying to lure Matt Payne.
But then I'm pretty sure Matt Payne did a press release being like, with him and Kai Allen, and like,
we're
really happy with the team.
We're loving it.
As you would, like, they've been so dominant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really interesting as a newer supercar fan, that Brock Feeney and Will Brown did such a good job last year in a Chevy Camaro. Like, basically were topping the charts the whole year and then went to a different car. It's like Lewis Hamilton, if in the middle of his win streak with Mercedes was like, no, I'm going to go to McLaren. Like, it's just weird.
Well, I would say, like, they're not even the fastest Ford team.
No,
I think Penrite is pantsing them in their own car.
Penrite's been
they've
crazy.
spec'd, so...
Yeah.
But it is, like, they've got to learn a whole new car, Triple Eight. Like, they've had the Chev for 3 years, and they just know that thing like the back of their hand. Of like, bit of this here, bit of that there, change that here, I'll get that.
Settling into it a bit.
They're coming through now, whereas Penrite have all this data for so long to be like, I know what we want with this platform, whereas Red Bull are still trying to figure out that platform a little bit. But because that team's so good, they're still able to be competitive. Yeah. Just like they were with the Chev. Because if you were to pull them out of the Chev last year, like, Chevs are nowhere as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that's still down to the teams.
Exactly right.
Within there, so we'll just see how that plays out.
That's a crazy move.
I hope
when you're on top, why not stick with the car that's putting you on top? You know.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. It's one of those that more commercialization thing for.
I think it goes many layers above the drivers.
Way more layers above what something I roll out on track. Anyway, from there.
Exactly right.
But yeah, I think that's it for Supercars as well.
Yeah, that was
within
really
there.
the
So
biggest moment.
I think that's that.
Yeah.
Great
episode. Sorry,
cool.
that was a long one. I think we had a lot to cover.
That wraps us up.
Yeah.
For there.
If you've liked what you've heard,
absolutely. Drop us a like,
a
sub.
More.
We'll keep making these and release them out.
Yeah.
Next event for the Supercars is Tasmania, which we'll do a bit of a preview for. And then in a fortnight, F1's back, so we can do a bit of a preview of Canada.
Yep.
We have our predictions in there.
Yep.
And see how we can go from there. But yeah, if you've liked, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. And
feedback. Tell us what you like.
We'd love your feedback.
Yeah. And we'll hit you again sometime soon.
Cool. Thanks, team.